Getting us started this hour, the White House has acknowledged that around 100 Americans are still in Afghanistan, almost a week after the evacuation ended. And while the administration grapples with the fallout, a series of leaked messages have shed light on the military's failed efforts to get every last American out of the country. Those texts, which have not been verified, were disclosed by one Michael Yon, a war correspondent and former Special Forces soldier. He spoke to us and shared details of his conversation with a high-ranking U.S. Army colonel.
That colonel was not physically present, but he was in contact. Major General Chris Donahue, who was the combatant commander on the ground. And so that colonel wasn't physically there. In fact, he was very frustrated. As you can see from that text, there was more text as well. He was really demonstrating a lot of frustration. At one point, he said, "Can you ram the gate?" In other words, hit it with the car and get in. I mean, he wanted to rescue those people. And, you know, and he, I hope that his texts don't cause him any problems. He's the kind of general we need. You know, he didn't want to follow those orders. He wanted to get them out. We had 3 jets on the ground that were private jets that were paid for by a friend of mine's team. His name is Rick Clay, and his team had paid for 3 jets. They were on the ground, civilian jets, waiting, and the U.S. military was not letting even civilian Americans with passports, American passports. Our biggest problem on getting people out, actually, is the U.S. government. It's actually not the Taliban. I know that sounds crazy, but the biggest problem is not the Taliban. The Taliban have actually, in some cases, have actually helped us. You can't even make up this stuff. This is like something from a weird movie. So Taliban is saying that U.S. forces have to either come and get them or call us to let them through. Nobody can make up this stuff. I don't care whose fault it is, Department of State or the military. It's all of your fault. You didn't let them in, period. They were at the gate. Then, of course, the next day, we have the Pentagon and the White House up there going, no, you know, all American citizens who wanted to get in could have gotten in, but they couldn't actually make it to the airport. And we're saying, excuse my language, I don't know if I can say this on Russian TV, they definitely were at the gate, period.
Well, it's a very fruity language. Well, as you can see here, the leaked messages claim that 45 Americans, including women and children, were unable to enter Kabul International Airport. Some were even thought to be beaten and assaulted in their efforts to get in. But military commanders apparently refused to help. U.S. generals apparently knew their citizens were stuck outside the airport, but still wouldn't grant them access. Some even proposed paying other governments like the UK to help airlift Americans. Now, one top general called Mark Milley, he was singled out by soldiers on the ground as making the call to not open the gate.
Can you confirm General Milley was mentioned by name as the leader that is condemning them to death?
Yes, I can confirm that mentioned by name.
But even after images of the chaos at Kabul airport emerged, the U.S. kept up the narrative that the situation was under total control.
What we are doing every single minute of every single hour of every single day is working to create safe passage for all civilians, including the Afghans who work for us, to the airport, to get them on planes and get them out.
I think it's irresponsible to say Americans are stranded. They are not. We are committed to bringing Americans who want to come home.
We completed one of the biggest airlifts in history. The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals.
Well, after the evacuation, Michael Yon wrote this scathing letter to the Army's high command, highlighting some of the missteps. Now, specifically the fact that U.S. nationals were abandoned at the gates while, like we heard earlier, 3 empty jets paid for by volunteers were waiting for them. We reached out to the Pentagon. They declined to comment on the allegations. Yon believes that the lack of transparency has made matters worse.
That's what Americans always say. We leave no one behind, right? And right now, we've seen the military leave people behind at the gate. But it's a sin to say, well, I'm just going to lie because it's humiliating, so we just have to leave them behind and lie about it. No, we're going to try to get them out, and we're getting a lot of them out right now. The military and the Department of State are in our way at this point. So in addition to leaving people behind, they are stopping us from getting them out now. Department of State is in our way. We want the military and the government to get out of our way. We don't need their help anymore. I mean, now that we're getting success as civilians, because we can do it. We don't need them. We're faster. We're more efficient, and we don't have the bureaucracy, and we're just smarter than they are.